What's going on, guys? SL Wayne back again with another Excel tutorial, and today we talking about 5 tips and tricks that I use on a regular. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're back, and so you have my Excel sheet pulled up. We got the loan amounts here inputted. First thing you see, my annual rate is 2%. I have number of payments at 60, and my loan amount is $20,000. And we want to calculate the monthly payment. So how do we do so? Come in here into this field. We always start the formula off with equal signs. You type in P and T, then you can go ahead and pull up your first parameter. It asks for the rate. That's going to be at 2%, so we will select that. Now the trick to this is that you don't want the annual rate. We want the number of periods that's in a year, so it's going to be 12, so we have to divide this by 12. So once you divide it by 12, you can go ahead and move over to your next parameter. It's the number of periods, okay? So the NPER, and it's going to be 60. So we select 60, then move over to the next parameter, in which it asks for the present value, and it's going to be your loan amount, which is $20,000. Okay, now we do have other parameters there, but we'll get into those in a future video. See, we say FV, which is stand for future value. To close out this formula, we're just going to close out with a parenthesis. Come in here and do so, hit enter, and there's your loan amount. Now it defaults to a negative, so you can come in here, you go right in front of the P and put in a negative sign and close it out. Now you have a positive number. So you can see at a 2% interest rate, since the payments on a loan amount of $20,000, our payment is going to be $350.56. All right, number 2 is going to be the name range shortcut. Now I have my data here. I have my north, east, southwest regions, and I have the months of January through December, and everything has some data. You might already know this, but if you come in and highlight this cell, you can come to this box here and you can change that and you can name it. Therefore, if you want to paste this anywhere else in your data, instead of trying to go and copy each of those rows, you might have like a lot of rows of data. So you can come in here, hit equals, and type in January, and there you have it right there. So it's a quick and easy way to do so. Now let's just say that you have a wider area of data and you want to get that information. What you want to do is come in here and select everything that you have, go to the formulas at the top, and you want to create from selection. So once you create from selection, you want to make sure that you have top row selected. So we're going to hit OK. So now I can do this with all my data. So I can come in, I can hit the equal signs, I can put in December, and here's December. Same thing for June, equals June. So now I have all my data listed. So this is a very helpful tip. All right, guys, we're talking about freeze pane. It's gonna be number 3. As you can see, if I scroll, I would lose my top header. I won't be able to see what's going on. The same thing goes for if I scroll to the right, I lose the first column. And the reason why this is important is because say if I way over this side and I decide to scroll all the way down here, what happens is I can see what's going on the left, far as like what department this cell belongs to, right? So that's why freeze pane is gonna be very important for you. So if you want to freeze your top header, what you want to do, come in and click the cell underneath that first row, and you will go over to view and you would click on freeze panes. So what would happen when I start to scroll, you see my header is now fixed, it's frozen there. So I can scroll as much as I want and I can still be able to tell where this cell belongs to as far as the description and the header. Okay, now if you want to undo this, to hit unfreeze pane, and same thing goes for the column. If I want to keep this column visible, what I would do, I would come right next to that column, I'll click in the cell right next to this column, column 1, and I would go freeze panes. So what happened, it locks this entire column. So now when I scroll to the right, you can see that this column stays there. It doesn't go off my screen. Now let's take this another step further. So let's go ahead and unfreeze panes. So let's just say we want to scroll up and down, and we want to scroll to the right because we got data all the way over here. And if I did this, I can't see my header and I can't see the column, right? So if I clicked in this cell, so what I want to do, I want to come over here and I want to go back to the top, and you want to click on the cell that sit in between both of those, the column and the header. This is the first column here. I want this frozen. Remember, you want to put that cell right next to it, and this is the header that I want frozen. So if I put it here, now I'm freezing this header and I'm freezing this row. If I freeze this cell, what's gonna happen, my header will be frozen, but I will have column A and column B frozen as well. So let's do it. If I hit freeze panes, if I scroll down, my header frozen, but then when I scroll to the right, as you can see, column A and column B stays there. But in this case, I don't care about what's in column B, it's just the date. So I'm gonna hit unfreeze, and what I want to do, go back over here to this one. It's right next to the column that I want frozen, and it's underneath the header that I want frozen. So you can hit freeze panes. So now when I scroll down, it stays and it stays. So I can come over here and click on this one right here, and I can tell where it belongs. And right, see? So that's how it works. Number 4, and we're gonna use the function called convert. So convert is a way to convert data from one measurement to another one. For example, let's say we want to see how many hours are in 180 days. We'll type in 180, that's gonna be our original data. And how do we start off our formulas? With the equal sign. So we hit the equal sign, we'll type in convert. But once you have this up, then it asks you for your number. That's the first parameter. So that's gonna be 180. So we're gonna hit your comma, then you're gonna move over to your next parameter, and we wanna look for day. So let's scroll till we see day. Okay, where is day? Right here. So we click on day, so what we want to convert from. So we hit the comma, then we move over. And as you can see, it's only gonna give me the list of options that I can convert days into. Therefore, I want to use hours. So I'm gonna click on hours. And how do you close your formula out? A parentheses, right? So we're gonna use the close bracket. So we close it, then we hit enter. And as you can see, there are 4,320 hours in 180 days. So let's do another one. So let's say we want to look at feet. So 64, we use that 64 feet. So we want to know how many inches is in 64 feet. The same thing, we start our formula as always with the equal sign. We type in convert. Once we do that, our number is going to be 64. We do our parentheses, and let's go look for foot. Right here, foot. So click foot, parentheses, and now you can see our list of options. And what we want inches. So we're gonna click inch, and we'll close this out and enter. There we have it, 768 inches and 64 feet. So this is the convert function in Excel. Number 5, people graph. So let's just say that I want to have a visual embedded into my spreadsheet that represents the data that's being shown now. So as you can see, I have states and also I have an amount. Just say that this amount represents the number of voters in each of these states. So let's go ahead and put in our graph here. You want to go to insert, then you want to hover over to people graph and select that. And so now you get a default graph. What we want to do now, we want to go and edit that graph. So we click in the top right corner and you click here, and now we can select our data that we want to embed into this graph. So we hit select your data and come in here and select each of this information. And so now we can create. Click create, and there you have the same information now in the form of a visual graph. So now we want to edit this some more. So we go over to settings, and you see we have type, theme, and shape. I want to choose this one here. background like this. So if I want to change the theme, we can do so. So let's just choose this one here. Okay, so now we have that selected. But what else can we do? So we can come back in here, and if I wanted to, I can go ahead and save this, but let's do this first. So let's go back, let's click the data tab, and we want to change the title. So we come in here and let's say register voters. Okay, and so now we have that changed. So you see my title is now changed now. So let's say we want to save this here. So you click this I on Windows, it'd be like a little arrow sign, and so we hit show as save image. Now it's there. We can resize this or do whatever we want to do. So this is PeopleGraph. Hopefully you'll find this useful. Well, I went over 5 tips that I use all the time. So if you like the information that I'm pushing out to you guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Excel_Wayne. Now I leave tips and tricks on my Instagram stories, and I post them every week. So make sure you go check them out over there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can know when I drop a new video. I see you on the next one. Peace.